Hi, welcome to the May edition of the Guide to the Night Sky. This month, we take you across the sky, showing you the bright stars and the constellations visible for the month of May. The best time to use this guide is between 9 pm and 10 pm each night, and the best dates is before the 15th of May, as there will be no moonlight to obstruct your view. You can also find the audio version of this guide on Spotify, and you can use earphones and listen to the guide and spot the stars yourself. Before we begin, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for future updates, and if you're on Spotify, do subscribe to the podcast. And of course, like this episode. So, let's begin. This month, not much has changed in the night sky. As you can see, Leo is right up there above your head. The best way to look at the majestic shape of Leo is to face south and look up, and you'll find Leo slightly towards the west of Zenith. The lion can be seen very clearly this month, and you can see the stars Makha, that is Regulus. You can see the star Hobba, that is Zosma, and the star Denebola, that is Uttara Nakshatra in the Indian system, very clearly. You can see the sickle in the night sky forming the face of Leo, and as you've observed, and if you compare it with the previous month's sky, Leo has slightly moved towards the west, making space for the next zodiac constellation in the sky. The next zodiac constellation to take this place at Zenith is Virgo, that is Kanya Rashi in the Indian system, and Virgo does not have many bright stars, and therefore it's not quite easy to make up that shape. Before we come to Virgo, let's look at the stars around us, and you can see in the western horizon this month, and you can see that Orion is no more visible at this time in the night sky. Depending on the time, you can see Sirius almost at the horizon, and if your horizon is not clear, Sirius is out of your view. You can see Procyon almost setting in the west, and up comes Leo next to set in a few hours. In the north, you can see Pole Star visible depending on where you live and how clear your horizon is. If you have trouble spotting the Pole Star, you've got the Big Dipper Asterism right there at the highest point in the night sky, just helping you find Polaris. This month, you'll see that Big Dipper has reached the highest point in the sky in the northern direction, and you can use the first two stars towards the west. The stars Kritu and Pula, or the stars Dubhe and Merak, to point towards the north. Just imagine a line joining the first two stars of Big Dipper and extend it towards the northern horizon, and the brightest star that you'll see on this line next is the Pole Star. Between Procyon and the Pole Star, you'll find Castor and Pollux almost setting in the northwestern horizon to be more precise, and towards the east you have a few bright stars rising very close to the horizon. We'll discuss about these stars in the coming edition, so we'll go back to the zenith and discuss the stars visible at the zenith this month. You can see that at the zenith there's not many bright stars visible this month, but a little towards the east you'll see two bright stars, one of them very bright, shining and twinkling so hard, and the other one a little dimmer towards the south. These are the stars Arcturus and Spica. Arcturus is the brightest star in the constellation of Bootes that lies between Virgo and the Ursa Major constellation. In fact, in astronomy, we have got the phrase follow the arc to Arcturus and drive a spike to Spica, which is used to spot the star Arcturus and Spica using Big Dipper. We've told you in the previous edition that the Big Dipper is also called the ladle. So if you're facing towards the south and looking at the Big Dipper, it will appear to you like a ladle or a spoon. Now, if you take the handle of the spoon or ladle, that is the four stars of the Big Dipper, that's Megrez, Alioth, Mizar, and Alketh, or in the Saptarishis, that's the stars Atri, Angirasa, Vashishta, and Bhrigu. And if you extend this arc, you can see that there's a small arc forming using these four stars. And if you extend this arc, if you draw a circle using this arc, you will land at the bright star Arcturus. Hence the line from the arc to Arcturus. And if you continue in the same line, if you continue the same arc, you will just pass by the star Spica. Hence the saying, follow the arc to Arcturus, drive a spike to Spica. Arcturus is the brightest star in the constellation of Bootes, and Bootes is a kite-shaped constellation that you can see in the night sky right now towards the east. So once you've spotted Arcturus from the arc, the bright star or the light that you see from this bright star is shining from a distance of 36.7 light years. So the light that reaches your eye right now from this star left the star 37 years ago. Bootes means herdsman in the Greek culture, and in the Indian system, Sahadeva was a character in the Mahabharata who took up the duty of a herdsman when he was in exile. So in the Indian system, this constellation of Bootes is called as Sahadeva. The other stars of Bootes are not very bright for you to spot and make up the shape. But if the skies are clear, just look at 3 or 4 stars forming a kite with Arcturus forming the lower tip of the kite. Right next to Bootes, if the sky is very clear, you can see a few stars forming a small arc in the sky. This is Corona Borealis. So once you've spotted Arcturus using the arc, let's drive the spike to Spica. Towards the south from Arcturus, the constellation of Virgo, which is one of the largest constellations in the zodiac, has taken the place in the sky. And you can see the star Spica shining brightly just below Arcturus towards the south. Spica is also called the Chitta Nakshatra in the Indian system, and it is shining from a distance of 249 light years. The full moon of previous month in the Indian calendar system is called the Chaitra Poornima because the moon is usually spotted next to the star Chitta, giving the month the name Chaitra in the Indian system. The stars Regulus, Spica and Arcturus form a triangle in the sky, and this is called the spring triangle asterism. The other stars of Virgo are not very bright, but if the skies are very clear, just towards the southeast of the star Uttara or Denebola at the tip of Leo, you will see a few stars of Virgo forming a bowl shape. This is called the bowl of Virgo, and this is a region of the sky where if you focus a very powerful telescope, you can notice a lot of galaxies. In fact, our Milky Way galaxy is part of this local group called the Virgo cluster because most of the galaxies of this cluster are found in this Virgo constellation. So the galaxy we've discussed earlier, the Andromeda galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, and all the other galaxies in this bowl of Virgo form the Virgo cluster in this universe. So once you've spotted Spica, we'll now move towards the south, and there are a few interesting constellations there. When we spoke of Cancer in the previous months, we have discussed the constellation of Hydra. We have mentioned it, but it was very hard to spot because it does not have a lot of bright stars. In fact, Cancer is close to the western horizon this month, but because it's difficult to spot the stars of Cancer, if Procyon is visible to you right now, between the stars Regulus and Procyon, you will find a small group of 4 or 5 stars twinkling very faintly. If you see this group, this is the head of Hydra. Hydra is the largest constellation in the night sky, and it is believed to be a snake whose head is formed by this group of 4 or 5 stars that you can see. From there, it's a long trail of very faint stars that are very hard to spot in the night sky, and even under clear skies, it is very difficult to make out the constellation line of Hydra. But this is a constellation so large that it starts below the constellation of Cancer, and from this point it will move towards the east underneath Leo and then under Virgo, and finally ending very close to the constellation of Libra. So from Cancer to Leo to Virgo to Libra, this constellation of Hydra is a very large constellation in the night sky. Between the constellation of Hydra and Virgo, we have the constellation of Corvus or Hasta Nakshatra in the Indian system. Corvus is a constellation formed by 4 or 3 faint stars. It's quite difficult to spot them, but they lie just south of the star Spica in the sky. But the most interesting part of the night sky this month lies in the south. So if you're facing south, look very close to the horizon, and you'll find that a large group of bright stars are spread across the southern sky. you will see around 6 to 7 bright stars in this region, and 4 of these stars are tightly packed just above the horizon in the south. And when you're looking at these 4 stars, you're looking at the constellation of Crux. Crux is known as the Trishanku, named after a character in the mythology in the Indian system. And Crux is also known as the Southern Cross because this is an easy constellation that you can spot in the night sky. And like Big Dipper and Polaris that are used to spot the north, navigators used Crux to identify the south. Because in the southern hemisphere, it's very difficult to spot Big Dipper or Cassiopeia or the Pole Star. So navigators in the southern hemispheres, when they were in the oceans without a compass, used the stars of Crux, the Southern Cross, to locate the south. Towards the east of Crux, you will find 2 bright stars. These are the 2 brightest stars of the constellation Centaurus. In fact, Crux lies enclosed within the constellation of Centaurus above it. You will see a few bright stars spread above Crux, which form the constellation of Centaurus. And Centaurus is a creature in the Greek mythology whose half body is made of a horse and the upper half body is made up of a man. So a 4-legged horse with 2 hands and a head of a man, hunting for the lupus in the night sky, the wolf, which is not very much visible in the night sky, so let's skip it this month. And the 2 bright stars of Centaurus are Alpha Centauri or Regal Centaurus, and the second brightest star you see closer to Crux is the star Beta Centauri or Hadar. Alpha Centauri is a very interesting system because among all the stars visible in the night sky, this is the closest star that we can see with the unaided eye. Alpha Centauri, located 4.39 light years away from us, is a star just like the Sun. But the star that you see there right now is a combination of 2 stars, that is Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B. And in this system, you have another star which is the closest star to Earth after the Sun, known as Proxima Centauri, located 4.2 light years away from us. But Proxima Centauri is very difficult, quite impossible to see with the unaided eye, and it lies just south to Alpha Centauri and the star Hadar. So this month you can see some of the brightest star in the night sky. We've just showed you Arcturus, which is the 4th brightest star in the night sky. Alpha Centauri is the 3rd brightest star in the night sky. You also saw the star Hadar, which is next to Alpha Centauri, which is the 11th bright star in the night sky. Spica is the 16th bright star in the night sky. And I just mentioned to you that Regulus was visible this month. Pollux is visible very close to the horizon. Castor is right next to Pollux. And if you go out earlier in an evening this month, you will also see the star Sirius, which is the brightest star in the night sky, and the star Canopus in the south, which is the 2nd bright star in the night sky. So a lot of these bright stars make an appearance this month. So May is a great month to look at the bright stars and spot them. In the coming months, we have the constellation of Libra, Scorpio, and the galactic center slowly making their way towards the zenith, and we'll discuss them in detail in the coming months. With the stars and constellation discussed for the month of May, this is me, Atul, signing off for this month's edition of the Guide to the Night Sky. Before you leave, make sure you subscribe or follow our channel on the platform that you use to listen to these guides, and we'll see you in the month of June with the Guide to the Night Sky for June. Thank you.